Hey, Status Steve, please like and subscribe. Please click on the Deck Heroes icon, click on subscribe, icons in the bottom left. Click on subscribe, 100% free. Well, you know, apart from blood in, blood out. Anyway, we're talking about wedge formation armaments. Currently focusing on the banner of the Pantheon. The whole point of this is, I'm just thinking for peeps who are kind of early game, what is there to focus on when you get your transmutation skills? What's worth investing in? Because at the end of the day, some of these things you may invest in those transmutation stones and they're going to be obsolete very quick, and then you're going to be struggling. You know what I mean? So I think for transmutation stones and armaments, you've got to think minimum mid-game and probably kind of the end game armaments that you pick up along the way. So obviously they're going to have to be the legendary ones. Okay, and that's the only ones you can upgrade basically from the transmutation stones. Thank goodness for that. Because those are the ones you want to be focused on, and they have to have these inscriptions on them as well. Don't worry about those. You know, you can get the credits and add an inscription. Don't worry about those. These are the main ones. Focusing on this anyway, on this video anyway. To start at the tippity top, banner of the Pantheon. Balanced. There's a big clue that it's gold. So this is going to be best in class, basically. Increases the normal damage resistance of the wielder's troop by 3.5% upon reaching... Okay, so to start off, first things first. So that is every second normal damage resistance of 3.5%. Okay. Upon reaching 80% rage, their troop deals 8% more skill damage. I don't really understand. Upon reaching 80% rage, their troop deals more skill damage for the next 3 seconds. Right. So, what I'm thinking is that the point you get 80% rage, that's one of those 3 seconds is gone. Assuming you get the other 20% in the second, okay, that's your trigger for your 8% more skill damage. And then it lasts 1 more second. There you go at 8%. Unless you go directly from something approaching high 70% straight to 100%, then of course you get the full 3 seconds. But that's a big if. Anyway, we want that. We want, but that's definitely investing balanced. Defiant. Increases normal damage resistance of the wielder's troop by 3%. I was going to say because it's in blue, it's a must-have. It's going to be every... Okay, so that's going to be your counter... It's effectively, that's your counter-attack. Because it's talking about damage resistance. So you'd assume... Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe... I think the established meta or thought... I'm just thinking it through now. We attack and they defend... So our attack is nullified to an extent by their defense and their health and their number of troops. In the second, they attack and we defend, which is, then, affected by our defense, our number of troops and our health. But this says normal damage resistance. Why didn't it just say counterattack? That's what I'm really thinking. But anyway, I'm on the fence about Defiant. I'm on the fence. It's not awful. Let's see what else I got. Spiked. Increases attack by 3.5%. That's a no. Increases defense by 3.5%. That's a no. Not to invest in any transmutation stones or upgrading the armament. Increases health by 3.5%. That's a no. Galloping increases march speed by 2.5%. No. Cleanser deals 7.5% extra damage to barbarians. No. Striker deals 1.5% more normal damage of all types. That's not good enough. Sorry. When it says all types, that's what I'm talking about. Attack and counter-attack. Still not enough. That's probably going to be a no. I'd say probably, mean definitely. 2.5% more counter-attack damage of all types. Which is interesting because even though this is just... No. I thought that's 1%. It's 1.5%. I can say the 2.5% would have been higher than the 1%. You know what I mean? 2.5% every other second is higher than 1%, but it's 1.5%, so touche. Still a no. Still a no. Rebuff is a no. A brawler. 2.5 more skill damage of all types. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, of course. That's one that you definitely invest your transmutation stones in, if you was lucky enough. 1% extra damage. That means just of all types, normal damage and skill damage. That's a definite yes. Just think, what's the better between 2.5 more skill and 1% of extra of all damage? Skill could potentially be silenced, couldn't it, if you got a Guan Yu out there? Boo. And with the new meta, maybe your active skill triggers more often. So that's the counterbalance. Probably not correct, but I'll probably be leaning towards 2.5% more skill, especially if it's your primary commander and your secondary commander, boosted by 2.5% more. Because I would imagine that normal damage is just one thing. Yeah, definitely. Normal damage is just for the combined effect of both commanders, whatever you've got, but there's more skill damage. Is it both? I'm trying to think if it's likely to be both. Probably not. We don't know. Let's move on. Eclipsed. The Wielder's Troop takes 2.5% less skill damage of all types. It's not bad, but it's a little bit too defensive, and that's a no for me. When surrounded, Wielder's Troop deals 5% more counter attack damage of all types. Nope. No, again, no to invest. The Wielder's Troop deals 2% extra damage to surrounded troops. Deep is too specific. Listen, what I'm really thinking is KVK, most of the time those guys are going to be surrounded, but there are certain, past the first gate, a lot of the time it's only one troop against other troops. Yeah, so still we'll be surrounded a lot of the time, just not by your troops. That's not awful. That's not awful. Would I invest in it? Yeah, maybe. Guardedly, like one thing one of the three I'd probably invest in to make it relevant. As I said, there's many scenarios they'll be surrounded, so let's go for that. But not all scenarios, obviously. Anyway, Desperado, the Wielder's Troop takes 2% less damage when it has under 50% units remaining. You know what, that's a no. No, it's too defensive, too passive. No, it's a no for me. Anyway, Cohesive, the Wielder's Troop deals 2% extra damage when it has over 50% units remaining. Nah, it's a no. It's not awful, but it's no. It's drawing you into something which will definitely be upgraded. So, yeah. I can see people on the most kind of desperate day or just going into KVK thinking, no, I need to optimize now. And, you can be forgiven. But if you already have one of those three skills, which are quite good, then I think that'd be an expensive purchase. So I would not recommend it, but it's up to you, man. Whatever you do is the right decision. Anyway, Pursuer, the Wielder's Troop deals 2% extra damage to troops with under 20% units remaining. 2%. Joker, no. Assertive, deals 2% more damage while on the map. That's not awful. I'm thinking that includes rally damage now. I think that includes a normal, active, skill, rally, everything. I hope it does include rally because nothing else here hints to rally. Skill damage. No, rally would include. Yeah. Anyway, 2%, very likely, and that's normal damage and attack and active skill damage. If I didn't already mention it, and let's move on. That's not bad. Yeah, I would invest in that. Wary, I'm a bit wary. Anyway, increasing march speed of the Wielder's Troop by 5%. No. Siege work, 2% more damage when attacking a city or a stronghold. I'm not a rally man, but if you are, then I guess you'd think about that. Let's move on. Wielder's Troop takes 2% less damage when garrisoned. Not for this wedge formation, you won't. Not for this wedge formation. Let's move on. While in V formation and in arranged mode, the wielder's troop deals 3% more damage, which is basically like the siege thing, really. But when not in V formation, the wielder's troop deals 1.5% more counteract damage of all types. No. That was an easy one. Anyway, so that is the banner of the Pantheon. Didn't realise how many things there were for me to talk about, and I apologise in advance for that. One more video to go. If you haven't seen the other three, man, or this is the third of four, then that's exciting, man. Crucial. Anyway, please like, subscribe. Daddy Steve, and I'm out.